Hi, everybody. This is Dave. I am looking at exercises 21C and 21D. Sorry to post late. The new introduction for week 25 this week, but there really is nothing very new here. This is really just more translations. Chapter 21 really is just like a long sort of series of translations, whether passages or sentences, to sort of see if you're paying attention to the principal parts of verbs, which you see. Let's see if I can zoom in on some here. You see this huge list of verbs here. 20 again, chapter 21, nothing new, but lots of new vocabulary. Not even new vocabulary, really just expanded vocabulary, you could say. Like you've seen most of these verbs, like invenio is to find, removeo, maybe that's new, to remove. Video you've seen is to see, eubeo to order, volo to want or wish. Dico, dicere may be new for this chapter, but really what you're seeing is the expanded principal parts for verbs. So just a quick review here. The first principal part, let's go with peto here. Peto means to look for or seek. It means a couple of things, as you can see. To look for or to seek would be two of the more common meanings. So peto is the present tense first person singular. So this means I seek. Petere is the infinitive, which means to seek. Petivi is the perfect form, the first person singular perfect form. So perfect is a tense that has been covered recently. And so this would mean something like I sought or I looked for. And again, petitus, you do not have to really worry about at this point, but I would definitely focus on the first three principal parts of verbs so that when you see forms of these, you'll know what verb we're dealing with. Notice if you look down here at 18, eubeo, notice how eubeo, eubere, to order changes into usi, which means I ordered. So if you're seeing a form of usi, or like say there's an ending on it like userunt, which means they ordered, it's going to be slightly similar to eubeo, eubere, but it's got a whole new form really with these s's here instead of this b here. So it is critical really to pay attention to these principal parts, and if you're not, then some of the passages are going to appear to be strange and unfamiliar. So it's important to at least have a good look over these principal parts here. So, with that in mind, let's look at 21C and 21D. Let's see if I can get this lined up here. Okay. So over here on the right, I'll have what my responses or my answers would be. So I'm actually going to give you like four answers for each of these each of these exercises, since I've sort of been behind in my responsiveness and correcting just because of the National Latin exam this last 2 weeks. So I'm going to give you some decent answers here that I hope you'll use. Let's look at the first one. What did you want, boys? The word for what we know is quid, so we'll start with that. And you did want, and notice the boys is plural, so this is going to be second person plural form of to wish. So again, let's jump up here, and we see to wish, to want, to be willing is right here. So volo, vele, volui. Now again, the way that you're gonna take that volui. I'm actually gonna write this here. I gotta back that off. I'm gonna write volui. Now that's not the right form for the person and number we need, but I'm gonna start with this just to show you. So volui is a perfect form though, and that is the form we're looking for. That's the tense we're looking for in 21C here, because it is what did you want? Not what do you want or what were you wanting, not present, not imperfect, but perfect. So we're going to start with the perfect, the third principal part. Now, you plural, since the boys are being spoken to, not one boy but two boys, that's second person plural. So the way this works is we're going to chop off the I over here. This form right here, volu, is now called the perfect stem. I'm going to put a dash onto that just for a second. And then the second person plural of perfect tense, the ending is istis. May remember, I'll just do this in parentheses real quick. Isti, it, imus, istis, erunt are the endings for perfect tense. So, second person plural, this is first, second, third singular. This is first, second, third plural. We're dealing with a second person plural here. So we're going to use this ending and we're going to attach it right onto that perfect stem. So quid voluistis, what did you want, boys? Pueri here is a vocative, and again, it looks mostly like nominative when you're addressing someone. For the most part, it looks like a nominative. So, what did you want, boys? Is the first one. Then we move on to they got up suddenly. Now, let's get rid of the easy part first. Suddenly is subito, and I think we could put that first here. It's really okay to put that adverb first. And then we're going to focus on they got up. Now, the verb to get up, see if it's here in this list here. Hold on a sec. Surgo. Oh, there it is. To get up. It's right here from line 6 in the story. To get up or rise. So again, we have surgo, surgere, surrexi. So again, notice it's sort of similar to surgo, surgere. We have that S-U-R in there. But now we have this X in here too. And you may remember that the perfect tense indicators are the letters V, S, U, and X for the most part. For a lot of perfect verbs, not for all of them. But there's the X right there. So we're going to start with the perfect stem, which is this. The perfect stem is the third principal part of the verb minus the I. The I is just for like I got up. But do we need I got up here? No, we need, let's go back to the exercise real quick. We need they got up. Okay. So there's the perfect stem. The ending is this for they. That's third person plural. So I'm not going to keep that dash in there, but I want you to see that. This right here is called the perfect stem, and this is the perfect ending that we need. So now we attach those two, and that is how we say suddenly they got up, or they got up suddenly. The boys went to bed at last. So again, let's take care of the easy parts first. The boys, nominative, they're the subject. At last is the adverb tandem, finally or at last. And then all that's left is this verb phrase here, went to bed. Now, to go is eo ire. Let's go back and see if we can find the principal parts here. There it is, eo ire. You see the third principal part is ii or ev, so either one of those is okay to use here. And I'm going to go with this first one, ii. All right, so we were trying to say went. So the boys went. So again, I'm going to take that I right there, but now I'm going to lose the second I, and this basically becomes the perfect stem now. Now, the boys are a third person plural, so again, we're just going to attach that third plural ending onto that tiny little perfect stem of this form of to go, and we're going to have that word right there. Now, it would also be okay to say this, going back to here again. IV would be the perfect stem with this ending attached to it. So either one, ierunt or iverunt. Let's see what number 4 has in store for us here. Septimus looked for the wagon. Okay, so we can say two things right away. We can say that Septimus is nominative. He's the subject. Then we're going to say the wagon. We're going to put the direct object in, plaustrum. Plaustrum is a neuter word of the second declension, so this form plaustrum is good for nominative or accusative. So we've got Septimus doing something to the wagon, and then we say he looked for. So that is, again, peto petere, which I sort of highlighted above here. Yeah, if you go back to the first page, or the second page of the story, sorry, you'll see this. Peto petere petivi. So I'm going to put in petive, and that is the stem. And then we think about Septimus. Septimus is a he. He's a he, she, or an it, I should say, right? He is a he. So this is a third person singular. And the ending for third person singular is simply it. Remember, and I think you should memorize, e isti it, imus istis erunt. If you go to Latin tutorial on YouTube, or I'm sure that I've put it up into one of the past week's lessons, you'll see again those perfect endings if you need to re-familiarize yourself with them. So, petivit is the way that that is going to look. So I want you to remember perfect stem, petive here, and then the perfect ending for third singular is it. So there are four answers from 21C where you can get yourself perfect grades just simply by following what I've said and typing what I've really typed here. And I'm going to let you work on the other, what is it, six of them yourselves. So I believe these are all perfect verbs. Using the lists of principal parts given in the vocabularies, as I just did, give the Latin for all these. So basically, you have to think about the verb. Have you seen? You have seen. That's another perfect form. So you have to think about video, videre, and then the third principal part will get you where you need to be here. We went again, eo, ire, evi, like we did already. And then we have say. What did you say? That's dico, dicere. And then we ordered is eubeo, eubere, and the third principal part is usi. And then found, to find is invenio, invenire. Third principal part is inveni. And then he placed, he put. I believe that's also here. Let's just double check that. Pono, ponere, somewhere here. Yes, here it is. Pono, ponere, posui. So he put, he placed. You're going to start with posui, but you're going to use the third singular for he put, he placed. And that will look like posuit. Um, so I think that's hopefully enough guidance, and I'll stop this video and I'll move on to 21D, which I believe you'll find to be much easier than 21C. Okay, good luck on that one.